Hello guys, this is Mike, and today I have a Shanghai YouTuber with me, Simon Yu here, and actually I'm a subscriber of Simon's channel.
Hey guys, this is Simon. So today I guess we're just gonna have a casual chat with all of you guys. Haven't come up with specific topic. I guess just gonna have some rambling, guys.
Yeah, firstly I want to say Simon is a very encouraged young man.
Really appreciate that.
And both of us, we are Shanghainese.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
like very local, actually local Shanghainese.
Yeah.
We were all born in Shanghai, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was born during the 80s, and he was born.
During the 90s, so
Yeah.
I'm a little bit younger than
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah, but we find a lot of common topics that we can discuss today.
Yeah. Why don't we start with the first topic?
Yeah. Oh, first, let me introduce myself. You can call me Mike, and this is my English name. And I got this name because I love the TV show episodes, Growing Pains.
Oh, I didn't watch it now.
No?
What is this about?
It's about an American family
Okay.
and their normal daily life, etc. And Mike is the oldest son in the family,
I see.
and he has a pretty nice personality that I'm really liked back to
Okay.
the day when I was a teenager.
I see. Okay. I don't even remember how I picked Simon. I guess it's probably during my college year. Like one of my friend, he just gave me a random name like Simon. So
Yeah.
I could just go with that name for like probably 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you go to university, I mean the English British education system, when you tell someone else your Chinese name, it's really hard for someone else to remember your Chinese name.
Oh yeah, that definitely I have the same like feeling. Like
Yeah,
I would say like 99% of like foreigner they cannot pronounce my real Chinese name, so they
Yeah.
were all like, okay, that might be like that, and then like after 5 minutes they just completely forget like what I have told them before.
because the Chinese pinyin system is like the pronunciation is totally different as the English
Correct.
letters. So yeah. Anyway, so that's a small story about our English name. And personally, I'm now based in Sweden, in Karlskrona, which is a small town located on the southern part of Sweden. It's close to Copenhagen, close to Malmo.
Okay.
So basically, my channel is about the daily life as a Chinese in Sweden. Like I do random vlogs and travel logs. So in my life, I traveled like almost 30 countries around Europe, and I also stayed in Australia for 3 years to do my degree.
Okay, so yeah, Mike, you mentioned like you have been living like almost half your life in China, but half of your life in Europe. So
Yeah.
you have like went through all the both Chinese education system, and also you have like received your like a lot of your like education from Europe. So could you tell me a little bit more like what's the difference you have received from those two different systems? Like what's some of the thing maybe China is doing better, or like some of the thing like Europe is doing better?
Yeah. Firstly, I stayed in Europe for almost 4 years, not
Okay.
like half of my life
Okay.
was is there. And I went to Europe very first like 10 years ago. Went to Frankfurt. I was attracted by the historical background of Europe, like the historical architecture
Okay.
of Europe, and I found it's really interesting to travel around Europe, because from the southern part of Europe, which is quite different compared to the northern part, like
Oh, I see.
these Scandinavia countries. Actually, in these Scandinavia countries, you don't see like too much historical building. Yes, you can still find like churches, but it's not like as much as like the southern part.
I see.
I went to Australia to do my master degree.
I see.
Yeah.
So
So
what do you study, by the way?
it's a master degree of IT.
IT. Ah, I see.
But I got like first class honors in the university.
Oh,
Compared to my experience in China, like the very first 20 years, doing the go through all the Chinese education system, the main difference what I can see is the inspiring think about the issues and provide some kind of solution to resolve the problem. I mean, in China, maybe we have a authorized person, which is the teacher in the class,
correct.
and they will give you a certain tasks to perform, and maybe they will provide some standard answer finally to answer some problem. But you are not. I can't say you are not allowed, but actually you are not allowed to cross beyond that boundary and have your own opinions, which I mean it's different as the education education system want you to go.
Okay.
Do you agree that?
Yeah, I think I also have the similar experience as Mike. I mean, from kindergarten to like college year, I received all the education from China. So I didn't go to any like fancy private school. So all my education is based on in like a public education system. So I would say there are like good part and bad part. Like I would say like the bad part is that because in China, if you want to go to a good college, I mean, if you're an average Chinese,
Yeah.
then you have to go through that Chinese national college entrance exam,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Everybody have to take that, and that's the only way for you to go to a college if you want to study in China,
Yeah.
right? So
Actually, I didn't get through that
Okay.
examination.
So,
because
yeah.
I failed in that examination.
Until to this date, we still have very limited good education resource compared to the mass population. So China have this kind of very competitive exam that if you want to go to college here, you need to pass that exam. So I would say because of that system, right here, a lot of students from their kindergarten to their high school, the main goal for those education is built based on passing that exam instead
Yeah.
of like actually learning the real like knowledge.
Yeah.
I would say like we do learn a lot of like knowledge. Actually, Chinese students are actually pretty good at certain subjects such as like math, physics, but sometimes we don't get so many hands-on experience like maybe doing a hand-on project, right?
Yeah.
So
Actually, ironic thing is when you pass that examination, you got the entry permission or to go to those colleges. Few people has the passionate to develop their skills in the university. Then it turns to some kind of like play in 4 years in the university,
okay.
and actually when they pick up the major, the subject that they are going to learn, it's not their decision. It's the family's decision. Maybe their parents think like this is a bright way to go in the future. You can get a good job. You can be hired by some great company, etc.
Yeah.
So rather than the students themselves has a very clear perspective of their future to learn the knowledge and to apply this knowledge in the rest of their life. They just like passively receiving the orders.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just like we mentioned before, because of the college entrance examination, so all the tests are like pretty standardized. So
Yeah.
it's not like you can, you have some like limited selection. Like you can either go to like the arts direction or either the math direction, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
engineer
yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
But still you have very limited option. Like you still need to go through the math exam or like those standardized examinations. So if you fail those exams, you probably won't be able to even get into a very like average college at all, right?
I think why the exam itself is so important is because this exam can decide your future, which kind of professional you would have in the future, and like the life maybe standard that you will have in the future. Because people see the exam is a path to get to the succeed, but I think people are neglecting things like if this professional is I have the passionate in. If I want to spend my whole life to stick with that major. But I think a lot of people like they learn something in the university, but after they graduate, they just throw it away and do another job.
Yeah, I think that happens to my classmates a lot. Like I would say the 95% of my classmates they end up doing something which is totally irrelevant with what we have learned during our college year, right? So
yeah, that's right.
I think definitely there's a huge gap between like what we want to do and actually what we were teach in the school.
And I think in the Western education system, like you can have the opportunity to go to the university in any time in your life if you want to do something. I mean, we are not talking about the budget and the money thing if you have the money to afford that, but we are talking about if you have some kind of dream like you want to fulfill in your life, but you think you need some base knowledge based on that, then that's the reason you go to the university to learn the knowledge in that domain. But in China, if you failed in the examinations system, then you are not allowed to get entry to access those university resources. And then it becomes some kind of like adult education system, which is totally different as the normal, ordinary education system. And when you take those diploma, certificate, whatever it is, it is treated as different as.
I think it's like inferior than the one you can get when you pass those like. This one is called like continuing study.
Yeah,
so it's like basically designed for people who cannot, go to the university through the the college entrance exam.
Yeah.
So.
So you are stamped like you are different, and you are treated as like a second class of
graduates.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
that's right.
I mean, in the U.S., like at any stage, you can still go to the university. I remember like when I was doing my master in the U.S., like we have a lot of people they join the army first, and then they retire. Then they want to do the college. Then they can go get into college without any problem. Even they're like in their like late 20s or even like early 30s. I had some classmates, but in China, unfortunately, if you want to go to a college, you still need to go through that national college entrance exam. There's right. Also they're definitely limited, but I know to a certain point I understand why. Because we have only limited resource, and there's a huge balance between like education system we have like across like our nation. I mean, if you live in Shanghai or Beijing, you have more opportunity to get those resources, right? But compared to kids from like other places like third or fourth tier cities.
Yeah.
So
about this kind of like education resources, I think yes, you can say we are limited in education resources. But you still got like schools and colleges, which is not as a part of the Chinese education system. But these are also the resources. I think the things that our country need to do is do not treat these like education system, which is as different as our traditional education system. We treat them as the same. So we only judge the people not by their like which university you graduated. You treat the people like, are they skillful people? Are they inspiring people? Are they passionate to do the job?
Yeah, I agree. Like currently, I think we still have a very traditional. I won't say traditional, but it's a kind of like mindset. Like all the big companies, they're expecting to hire the best students. Like if you don't graduate from some renowned like top tier university, they don't even look at your resume. They just s- directly go into those like trash can, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, it doesn't matter like how passionate you are, like how many hands-on experience you have. I feel like in the U.S. or in other Western country, like even you don't go through that university system, but you can still find a way to work at Google. I know the opportunity is also very limited, but still there's a chance if you're good at something, they will recognize you. But in China, I feel like the majority of the big companies here, if you don't have a like high end like
It's
education
like
background,
first tier universities.
so then you will find your life here being extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I also understand why a lot of parents they expect their kids to go to the high end university or the best university because they know if you don't go to that university, then in the rest of your life you will have that stigma or like this kind of bad stamp, like hey, you're inferior than others, right?
Yeah, can I say this is also a kind of like discrimination?
Yeah, I would say like
If one
actually a
person has no
I think-
certificate, then you will be discriminated.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so I think there are many things we can talk in this domain because as I chat to you before, I mean when the kid has like 7 years old go to the university or not go to the primary school and the kindergarten, etc. It's like ramp up some kind of cognitive knowledge about this planet, about this country, about this universe, whatever it is, and then all this later on build on knowledge is based on this very basic correct incorrect thing. It's like I told you, it's like the firmware of a machine. Then you have to implant or download this firmware to a computer. Then this computer, all the high level software are based on this firmware. So as a human being, actually, this is only my opinion. We are also like biological bodies, so we are biological machines, if I can say in this way. Then your education system is some kind of like long-term downloading mechanism,
Process, yeah.
and then you receive all this very basic knowledge about the country, about the place where you live. Of course, you can have practical experiment, whatever it is, but your cognitive values are based on this education system, and then that's decide how do you perceive the entire world. So that's why a lot of Chinese students, that when they go to overseas, they found they are really difficult to merge to Western society because the very basic thing is different. Let's say the word propaganda. In China, if you say propaganda, 宣传, which is quite positive actually, right? You see these propaganda things everywhere in China, and but
And people treat them like very normal, like
yeah,
like people say, like if you take my parents as example, like if they saw those like banners hanging around the street, they feel like that's common, that's normal, that's what they are supposed to do. It's like
yes. So this is a very typical example, like how do we treat the same thing in a different way. And in the Western world, I know because of the Soviet Union propaganda or the Nazi Germany, and propaganda is some kind of word quite negative. If you say propaganda, then it's related or associated with brainwash.
correct.
Yeah. So, but actually, we are all experience the brainwash process of as a human being.
Yeah.
So then now I have like for myself, I'm trying to like jump off from the this kind of like mindset and to think differently and look at the same thing in different angle.
Yeah, I think because in China, I think in China we are the Chinese students are good at a lot of things. Like we are very good at math, physics. We are smart, but something I feel like we are lacking behind that is like critical thinking, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I remember from my like primary school year, like high school year, everything we were taught by teacher, but like little, very little chance, almost like virtually no chance, we will be asked to doing research for ourselves or
Yeah.
finding the truth by ourselves. So I think
You maybe like they will advocate to ask you to do some research by yourself, but finally you will hit the wall and there's a decision making on you.
somewhere like that.
Yeah, so your perception is limited in some kind of way that not allowed you to cross beyond that. So I think that's the main limitation of our education system.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like how the like teachers or how the parents they these things that whether the student can actually get a good grade in order to get into their like college, right?
Yeah.
To go to a better college. So it doesn't matter like whether they have that kind of critical thinking, because critical thinking isn't that appreciated
Yeah.
before like actually like in any time of our life. I mean,
I think back to the years during the Cultural Revolution, if you are a person like critical thinking, you will be punished heavily and stop you saying anything. I mean, I don't want to get into this the things too much, but it is true. Like you will get punishment when you criticize.
or you even thinking differently
Yeah.
with the majority of people, you will be treated as like
Yeah.
someone who
Yeah.
have a like
Yeah, you are freaking as in the society because you wear like blue jeans back to the 70s, and you have to wear like army green look like uniform.
everyone has the same like haircut,
Yeah,
the same like behavior.
yeah. If
stuff
you
like
have
that.
hairstyle like you got long hair, like look like a girl, and then you will be discriminated.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, teacher will like talk to you. Your parents will also like force you to maybe
Yeah.
do something.
I got like some kind, not now. Like I cut my hair like I got like long hair before, and my primary school, not primary school, secondary school
Okay.
teacher forced me and almost dragged me into a barber
No,
to cut my hair,
that's
and he said he is my father. So I mean, for my personal story, I wasn't you say you are an ordinary Chinese, but I don't see I am an ordinary Chinese. Actually, I'm quite different when I was very young, but I didn't realize. Like I always think like maybe I have some problem.
Okay, I think I would say I'm not like extreme as you. I mean, like I still try to blend in, because everybody is doing that. So at that stage, I was like, hey, if everybody was following the rule, then maybe just don't want to get myself into trouble. So why not just follow these rules? But
Yeah, one question. But when you like totally follow what the teacher says or what your parents says, do you feel like uncomfortable sometimes?
yeah, for
You are
sure.
forced to do something.
Yeah, like for sure, yeah, because the peer pressure and also like all the guidance from the parents or from the teachers. So, but sometimes you just go with the flow. You
Yeah.
don't want to stick your like heads out and become the center of the attention. And then like
Yeah, because
Teachers
if you don't follow a certain path, then you will make a lot of confliction. Like you will have problem with almost everyone around you.
right the principal in the school, right? I mean,
Yeah. Like if your teacher tell you to hand copy some article for 100 times, but
Oh, I did this all the time. Like I remember in my primary school, whenever I made some mistakes,
yeah,
like I don't know, I forgot, but every time they will use this as a punishment, like
yeah,
ask you to like write down like some like Chinese article or
Yeah.
like a poet for like how many times? Maybe 200 times,
Yeah.
300 times. So yeah,
I mean, if it's good to you, like do this like like repeat over and over again. But actually, you don't get any benefit from the
Correct,
punishment.
correct.
I mean, now we do have a printer, can do the same job and much faster than you.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to do such kind of dumb thing all the time, and it is in order to punish somebody and do it.
I don't know if like they have improved nowadays. I don't know if
I don't know because
the
my
kids nowadays are doing
my
the same thing.
my experience is quite old. I expect you like for 30 years ago. But yeah, maybe they change it in certain degree.
Certainly.
But the main conception and the pattern is the same.
Yeah, I mean to some degree, currently because of the education system, they still remain the same.
Yeah.
I would say have some improvement. I mean,
Yeah.
if you are rich, you can still choose different kind of like
Yeah.
education system. But still, for the majority of Chinese people, they are still basically receiving the same kind of education. They're still going through the same education system
I think-
as we went through like before.
I think now it's getting harder and harder because, for example, in Shanghai, you got immigrants like coming to the city, and they want to enter the same education system as the Shanghai residents, let's say. But these like normal universities are like certain numbers. Then everyone should go through that. Then it creates a lot of competition.
Yeah, I would say
So
competition nowadays.
if you can
is-
copy article like for 10 seconds, I do it for 5 seconds. Do you see what I mean? So this kind of low level competition, which I would like to say.
I would say competition nowadays is even fierce, more fierce than the stage like when we were like in the school, right? I mean, currently like even in the kindergarten, people have to force their kids work really hard, like
Yeah.
taking some like cram school during the weekend, like studying English, even like Olympic like math.
Yeah, that's which is very tedious.
Yeah, but if you want to go to a like good primary school, then you have to have those like basic skills or like
Yeah.
have some certain kind of like certificate in your pocket, then which can make you shine during the application process, right?
Yeah, because now we do have like money take part in of this kind of competition. Because before maybe like everyone got a similar salary, like back to the 80s
Yeah.
when I was young, and our parents you barely see
They have
like
a universal,
super rich.
they have a universal like salary. So basically, virtually everybody make kind of like the same,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
50 kwai or all the way to 100 kwai, and that's it.
Yeah,
Not
that's
much
right.
big difference.
But now you got like super rich parents. They earn like millions of dollars a year, so they want their kids to be part of the good system. And then what they are going to do is spend money. Spend money to invest their kids. So their kids got like, I don't know how to call it, like play pianos, play ballet, and go to a nice English school, whatever it is. So those kids get more resources to access. And then they back to the examination system and to be compete with the others.
Okay.
So it's another kind of unfair, but I can't say it's unfair, but
Because their family got money, so I mean,
yeah,
to some degree, it's I would say getting similar to the system
US.
in the US, because in the US we have the similar situation here. Like rich kids, they can get more resource, more better education. Like poor kids, it's kind of tricky for them to get better education during their early age. I would say the degree we have here in China is much more.
everything that we are talking about in China is different level of the same topic in US. So I think, but I personally don't have any experience in the US, so I don't want to put.
But I would say like in the US, we still have a certain level of like equality. I would say. I'm not saying. I'm not sure if it's correct, because in China when I was in college, like a lot of my friends from like third or fourth tier cities, like such as Hunan or like Henan province, they will spend like 4 or even 5 years repeating their like the third year of the high school, so they can like taking the test until they actually get
Uh.
into college, because the competition at this province are so fierce. So they have to like do it one more year, and until they get into college. And the only way to change their life is to get a college degree, like get into university, and then
Yeah,
they can
because-
find a decent job.
Because in those provinces or whatever it is, maybe they see only this path is the only way to get succeed.
Mhm.
There's no other ways to be a great man on this planet. From their understanding. I mean, so this is I think the education that I'm going to talk about. Maybe later on we find
Yeah,
some
we can
more
have a
specific
deeper specific about or a certain specific topic to cover that.
Yeah, that's right.